Hi, we are now going to be showing you a practical example of doing a bit of research and planning to be unique. I have a grand idea, and that is to open a website and make a little bit of money on bookings for people booking at guest houses in Simonstown. So the first thing I do is I start Googling Simonstown accommodation. Those are typical things that people will be searching for. I notice Safari Now is there, simonstown.com. Okay. Just by looking at this first page, I can see I will be dead and buried before I made my first booking. This is extremely competitive. There's sleeping out, SA venues, portfolio collection. So let's change this around. Let's do a website in Afrikaans. Let's go Google for Simonstad verblyf. Still see there's Lekker Slaap. Lekker Slaap didn't exist until a few years ago. Now they're quite big. It's Afrikaans directory, and they're quite popular. There they're at the top. Please note Google Places. You cannot ignore Google Places. Google wants to push it. Simonstown is there, but they're even giving you these options. Safari Now. Okay. So I'm doing a bit of research. Book and Play. There's one of my old quick web websites in Afrikaans. Let's go have a look. I've forgotten about this little website. Anyway, I didn't put enough time into it, but I'm relaunching this project. But I've learned I've made some mistakes previously. Yeah, I have a website on kalkbay.mobi. It's got a lot of information on it. What to do in Kalk Bay, where to stay, where to eat. This is more like a hobby website of mine. I'm tackling it this year as well with a different strategy. But what am I going to be doing different with Simonstad, a website in Afrikaans? I'm going to take on the big companies, Safari Now, Book and Play, Lekker Slaap. My website in Afrikaans is purely going to be focused on accommodation in Simonstown. I'm going to do the whole website in Afrikaans. I'm not going to talk about other towns. If you see this Book and Play, they're trying to conquer the whole Southern Africa, even Zambia. So I know if I do a website in Afrikaans, that's the only Afrikaans text they've got in here. That little bit of Afrikaans text. That's why they are appearing there. There's a lot of English ads. They're selling a lot of ads. This is what I mean when I want you to plan and research. Simply go. I've searched one search term. I can Google now. Simonstad Gastehuise. Yes, people do Google in Afrikaans. It's important to know. This Lekker Slaap is a big business, purely because their website is in Afrikaans. There I see that old website of mine. I've really neglected it, forgotten about it. It's still there. It doesn't even have its own domain name. It's got a quick web extension. So I know that I'll get the traffic, and but I've learned from mistakes. So I've done a little bit of research by searching. I can carry on with this. You need to do the same. I'm not saying do your websites all in Afrikaans. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying go and see who occupies page 1 and 2 of Google for search terms you would like to be found for. By that way, you're going to know, you're going to have a realistic benchmark of what your competition is and what you need to do to displace them. For you to appear on page 1 or 2 means that someone else has to move down for certain search terms. So remember, when you're doing research, you can, there's Simonstown backpackers or Simonstad. Just spend a bit of time there. My website is actually right at the top, Simonstad besienswaardighede, and I've forgotten about that website. Anyway, so I'm fairly confident now to proceed, and I'm actually going to go ahead and re-register that domain and relaunch that business. Even if it's only 2 or 3 months from now, when I will actually start with the actual project. I have seen the domain is available, simonstad.co.za. That's the Afrikaans for Simonstown. So there is value in a domain name alone. So yeah, I'm going to put this one in the bank. But the point I wanted to bring across was do some research, go to Google, it's cheap, and just see who is currently occupying page 1 or 2. Study their websites and plan to, what are you going to be doing different to them? Why should Google put you on page 1 or page 2? Okay, that's a bit on planning, doing research, and thinking what are you going to be doing differently to deserve that space on page 1 or 2 of Google.